We're talking about the kind of bien-pensant establishment of this left-leaning country. The police, the CPS, Keir Starmer, his cabinet, all pretty much terrified to have a go at a young man of colour, the son of immigrants, you know, in case they get accused of racism. You know, this guy killed 3 little girls, tried to kill 8 more and 2 more adults, had ricin in his house, had an Al-Qaeda manual. He was an absolute maniac, and yet the police release a nice picture of him as a 12-year-old, an angelic 12-year-old. Why didn't we get a current picture of him? It's because the police, the woke police, wanted us to think better of this monster. You know, he just killed 3 kids. There's no point in putting out a 12-year-old. Oh, look, isn't he cute? Oh,
right.
Oh,
I mean,
it's so ridiculous.
Can you think of any other case of a mass murderer? Because that's what the guy was. It was certainly attempting mass murder, and he achieved far more damage and pain than anyone could possibly imagine. Can you think of any equivalent where the perpetrator of such a crime has had a baby face picture put out? I mean, Myra Hindley, anyone? Ian Brady? You know, you think of the Moors murderers, you think of the pictures put out of them. Rosemary West, her ghastly husband, can't remember what he was called. We didn't have baby pictures of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. It's like, oh, look, here's a picture of Myra Hindley. She's the Moors murderess. Oh, look, there she's in her pigtails in her primary scale uniform. Isn't she skipping? Isn't she cute? Absolutely ridiculous. So now let's cut to that. This is the bien-pensant left-leaning establishment, you know, who never ever want to tell the truth about alleged Muslim terrorists, Islamic terrorists. They're always tiptoeing around people of colour, might be accused of racism. Now the truth is less important than us getting accused of racism. Now, we're going to cut to the heart of the matter. A guy called Lord Alex Carlisle, the very epitome of the great and the good, used to be a Lib Dem MP, now potters around the Prevent programme, and was on Mike Graham's breakfast show this morning, and it all got a bit heated. But we're talking about Prevent, which Axel Rudakabana was referred to 3 times, but couldn't get in. So it's harder to get into Oxford University than Prevent. It's a very, very exclusive organisation. I mean, here's this guy going round. He's obsessed with the Rwandan genocide. He's obsessed with mass murder. He actually stated to Prevent to assessors that he'd like to massacre school children. And they said, oh, no, he's all right. We don't need him in the anti-terrorist programme. No, no, no. But here's Lord Carlisle, who seems to think Prevent is absolutely wonderful. Take it away, Lord Carlisle.
You have to remember that Prevent is a scheme that depends on cooperation, and I find it very difficult to believe that this perpetrator would have cooperated with Prevent. That may be the reason why he was not admitted to the Prevent programme, which is very successful with many people, but not all.
Well, I would have to say that I would disagree with you on that as well, because Prevent is clearly not fit for purpose. Would you not agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that at all.
What exactly has has been good that Prevent has done?
Prevent has done what it says in the on the tin.
Well, it hasn't prevented anything, has it? It hasn't prevented young children being killed. No, it hasn't prevented young children from being killed. It hasn't prevented the London Bridge attacker from killing people when he came to Fisherman's Hall. You know, it has failed multiple times to protect the British public. So therefore, the word Prevent is not even a suitable moniker for the organisation.
Can I now answer your question?
Please do.
Or whichever question you want me to answer.
Well, you tell me what successes Prevent has provided.
I was about to, but you interrupted me during my
well, I'm sorry, you're obviously not used to robust conversations, are you? Well, yeah, because I'm not going to be spoken down to like some kind of child, OK? I don't know who you think you are. Just because you're a lord does not give you the ability to lord it over the rest of the public, OK? So talk to me as an equal, or else you can get lost, frankly.
I thought you were a journalist.
No, I am a journalist. Yes, I am.
I'm going to answer your question if you'll shut up for a minute.
Go ahead.
Right. Prevent has done a great deal of good, Prevent has prevented large numbers of people from becoming terrorists, but it does not succeed in every case, and you could not expect it to succeed in every case.
Well, there you go, a representative of the great and the good, one of these people who seem to hover around the authorities, organisations like Prevent. He's saying what a great organisation Prevent is. As I said, Isabel, it's very exclusive. It's very difficult to get into. You know, if you go around saying I'm going to murder school children and I'm obsessed with genocide, that doesn't get you in. You've got to do better than that. And of course, it was tremendously successful, the Prevent programme, wasn't it, in preventing that Islamist fanatic Usman Khan killing 2 people on London Bridge a few years back. He'd been in Prevent. I think Mike's got a point. Prevent doesn't prevent anything. It's a waste of time. If it's not going to accept people like Axel Rudakabana into its anti-extremist programme, who the hell is it going to let in?
My jaw was dropping at that interview. That was absolutely brilliant. I'm not sure I'd have been as brave as Mike in telling Lord Carlisle to get lost, but kudos to him because, you know, we're all fed up, aren't we, of kind of mealy-mouthed non-answers. Look, Prevent, its core offer is to prevent, and demonstrably it did not prevent this most heinous of crimes. Therefore, Prevent has catastrophically failed in this case. And why don't people, all people, just admit that? It's no good sitting there or standing there and say Prevent is brilliant, it's prevented loads of stuff. It didn't prevent this, and this was absolutely dire, and therefore it failed. The problem the government have got, I suppose, is that you can't kind of issue long lists of all the terror attacks that you've prevented. But I think we would need some more evidence to convince us that it is actually an effective programme. My suspicion, and I think we've read about this before, haven't we, is that far too much resource from the Prevent programme is directed at the so-called fringe far right, and not enough is directed at a more broad spectrum of threats that we all face.
Indeed. Well, let's go to break now, and when we come back, we'll discuss more of this situation to do with Axel Rudakabana, and I think we'll probably concentrate on the government's latest deflection technique, which is to get us to obsess on the horror of him being able to buy a knife on Amazon. I mean, it's not great that he can do that, but you can shut that down if you want. He's still going to get a knife, and so will anyone else who wants to get a knife. It's ridiculous.